the love feeling that I had came from food. Hi honey bunnies, thank you so much for being here. I am going to share a full weight loss journey video, just kind of starting from beginning to where I am right now. If you guys don't know, I have 4 children and I'm also a personal trainer at this time, and so but I wasn't always here. So I want to let you guys know where I started. And just growing up, I basically have always been the chubbier out of my family, so I've always taken on kind of my mom's side of the genes. My dad was always skinny growing up, and so my siblings were all skinny, and then there was me. And so I got made fun of a lot growing up, and I wasn't super overweight, but I was also always chubbier. And then when I turned 12, 13, then I started getting boobs, and they were pretty huge, and it was just something I was very embarrassed about. And I was always like self-conscious, because even when I wasn't trying to like have them out there, they were just out there. And yeah, a lot of that. And then growing up, I moved to my grandparents when I was around 16 years old, and I stayed with them for about a year. And during that time, my grandma was a little bit more active. She did have a treadmill. I could really remember growing up, because my dad wasn't really home a lot, and I had a stepmom and my parents had divorced. The love feeling that I had came from food. And so yeah, I built this very unhealthy relationship with food, and what I had to do was kind of be taken out of that environment to actually understand, oh, if I eat better and I move more, I can lose weight. And I got around 125 before I left my grandma's, went back to my dad's, and finished up high school and everything, and then moved in with my now husband. At the time, he was my boyfriend, and we ended up getting pregnant with my daughter, and I had her, and I felt very uncomfortable in my body. And so I definitely want to share some photos, so I'll have those pop up on the screen somewhere. But I was very unhappy with my body at that time, and it was just very uncomfortable for me, because I already didn't feel good in my own skin, and this just kind of made that worse. But I started doing high intensity training. I did Max 30, the Insanity program by Shaun T, and lost a lot of weight, and I actually have a video about that. I actually was able to lose a ton of weight. I got down to around 105 pounds, and then got pregnant with my now 6-year-old son. But when I got pregnant with him, we went through a lot of changes. I didn't gain as much weight back. I gained about 40 pounds during that pregnancy, and then stayed around 125 after that pregnancy. And then I slowly started gaining, because I had a very sedentary job, and then I wasn't able to move as much as I used to, and just a lot, just life. And me and my husband also got married during that pregnancy, so it's just a lot of changes. And then what we did was, after about 2 years of me having my 2 babies, we ended up trying for our 3rd. That was like, it put a lot of stress on me, but I was already overweight when we tried. And then I got pregnant with him, and you guys, was around 200 pounds at the peak of that pregnancy. And then after I had him, I gained even more weight. And so it was just very like, I knew I was in an unhealthy place. But then my job actually had me do a blood test for a discount on my insurance, and that came back that I was borderline high cholesterol, which was very scary for me, because I wanted to be here for a long time for my kids and be able to do things with them, and I wanted to be a role model to them. And so that instantly made me change. I started going for walks every single day after school, after I was done working. I was walking on the trail every day after school, after I got done with work, which was same time around 4 o'clock. And me and my kids really got into a rhythm with that, and it was not only good for my physical health and for the kids' physical health, it was very good for our mental health. And I could see that I was changing. I was starting to grow to love movement. And we got some weights at the house, and I started doing some weights at home, but not very consistent and not very routine. And so I started to try to kind of educate myself, because I knew I didn't want to look how I looked after I had my daughter, just very skinny and no definition and not very happy with myself still. I wanted to have, a big thing for me was having abs and being more toned and building a butt, and my genetics was very top heavy, and so I gained a lot of weight in my boobs, my stomach, my back, and so I really had to play around with my genetics to see what I could actually accomplish and get closer to my goals. And I started educating myself, and that was the best thing that I could have done, because I started weightlifting before I got pregnant with my fourth, and I saw drastic changes in my body that I had not seen before. I'll put clips of how I looked and how different it was than when I lost weight with my daughter, because I was about around the same scale weight, but my body looked a lot different. And then also during my pregnancy for my fourth baby, I trained throughout that entire pregnancy. It was safe for me because I had been training prior to it, and my doctor just let me know, you know, there's certain movements and things that I wasn't able to do. And I loved strength training, you guys. I tried to do high intensity cardio again after having my my son, my third baby, but it just, I hated it. I dreaded it. I didn't want to go the next day. Strength training, I'm so excited to do it and I love it, and it keeps me going every day because I see the progress and I see how much closer I'm getting to where I want to be. Anyways, after I had my son, that was probably the smoothest delivery, and then also the smoothest recovery that I ever had. So I will always continue to move and strength train during pregnancy, because I feel like it is so beneficial. And it kind of, I was able to bulk and put on a lot of muscle. So after I had him and I started to lose weight again, I already looked a lot different and had more significant muscle mass on my body. And I was very happy with where I was. And I'm slowly and surely making little tweaks here and there. Nutrition was also a big deal. So before I was just eating a specific amount of calories, but whatever. And when I started strength training, I started to research how can I make my progress even better. And I found that I was able to kind of educate myself on macros. It wasn't until recently this year that I actually got a certification in personal training. A lot of it I educated myself on, but macros and micronutrients and also different supplements, I was able to get an education behind it, because nutrition plays such a huge role in what you're going to see in your body from the weight training. You can weight train all day, but if you don't eat right and you don't eat enough and you don't have enough protein and your macros are not correct, you won't see as much progress as you could. That made a huge difference. I was finally able to actually see ab definition. I was able to see that I was growing on my lower body. I was able to see that I was finally starting to look more like an hourglass and more like my goals. For me, that was huge. That was mind-boggling, and I'm so much more confident in my body today after having 4 children than I've ever been my entire life. And it's so funny to say that because I have stretch marks and cellulite and everything, but educating myself on how a healthy body looks and how those things in the grand scheme of things don't really matter, it has made me feel so much more confident in my guys. That is my little fitness journey. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that I can upload additional videos. And if you have anything that specifically you want to know or want me to make a video about, feel free to leave that in the comments down below, you guys. But thank you so much for watching, and until next time, you guys, be sure to do something today for a better tomorrow, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.